having this mindset shift lately where I'm starting to tell myself that spending more is going to make me wealthier. And if you want to know where that's coming from and how I got to that mindset shift, then keep on watching. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, my name is Shio, and over here we talk about self-development, beauty, and leveling up to live your best life. So if those are things that you are interested in, feel free to stick around so that you don't miss out on any future content. So today I wanted to share with you guys how to spend money intentionally and how to stop feeling guilty about wanting to spend money and reframing your money mindset to create a life where you feel abundant all the time without going broke. And this is going to be part of my series about stepping into that rich girl energy and radiating abundance no matter where you go, no matter what you spend on. I really wanted this video to be less structured and more, I guess, of a chatty, chill video. I have my tea right over here. I'm up 2 weeks away from delivery. Exactly 2 weeks from now, from today, I will be at the hospital getting ready to give birth to my baby if he decides not to come earlier than planned. But I'm really excited, but it's also making me a little bit more tired lately. So we're gonna just sit down and chill and talk about money. I love talking about money. I love listening to people talk about money. Anytime I see a financial advisor, I want to be their best friends because I just want to learn everything they know. And I think it's safe to assume that nowadays we have a lot more people who are financially literate. Younger millennials, older millennials, Gen Zs. We're so lucky to be in a day and time where you can go onto YouTube and learn all about finances. I don't think our parents, our grandparents had that luxury. Really, if they were not born into a world where people understood finances, chances are they didn't have greatest financial literacy either. And first of all, I just want all of us to feel grateful for the fact that we can learn from each other and we can learn from the world and even people that we don't know more about finances. We have so many books, so many podcasts, so many videos. Just such a lucky time to be interested in money and becoming rich. But I also feel like because of that, we've somehow socially structured money and spending money in a way where there's like the good way to spend money and the stupid way to spend money. And when I talk about good ways to spend money, it could be things like investing in the stock market, ETFs, S&P 500, investing in a house, investing in something tangible, investing in yourself via self-help books, courses, leveling up. All these are great. And when you do these things, when you tell somebody, oh, I'm going back to school to get my master's to further my career, everybody says, great. You're putting 40 grand into that? Fantastic. That's a great spend. But if you tell somebody, oh, I went to Chipotle and I got guacamole for an extra $2.50, they're gonna say, why are you wasting your money like that? Do you see where the discrepancy lies? There is always that good investment and then there are like bad investments where you're just spending your money frivolously. And I was thinking about that and I was like, why is there such a thing? I think the first point is one of the biggest money mindset trap that we have is restriction. And that is if you wanted to buy something and you tell yourself, oh, I can't afford this. Or I want to buy that thing, but I gotta stop spending money this month. Or I need to be careful with my finances and I need to be careful with how I'm spending money. Because when you say it out on the surface, it sounds like a very normal thing. Everybody says it. You've probably never heard anybody not say it, not say a word like that. Like it's very rare to find someone who doesn't say those things. But imagine a scenario. Imagine you have $10 million in your bank account and no matter what you spend on, when you spend on it, that bank account never goes below 10 million. Would you then still have this mindset of, oh, I can't afford this. Oh, I can't buy it right now. Maybe next month. No, because that mindset itself is coming from a place of scarcity. It's coming from a place of, oh, my money could actually run out. So if you were truly living in a place of abundance, then would you ever have that feeling of my money could run out? You probably wouldn't. But I think this first point is such an important point because there's a nice middle ground. Like there's a fine line where you are spending responsibly and irresponsibly. I think the easiest way to deal with this is really just to deal with the mindset first. Before we control our physical actions, I think if we could control how our mind is thinking, how we're feeling about the situation, it's going to really help the situation. So what I mean by this is, if you wanted to buy something, for example, if I wanted to get extra guac at Subway or Chipotle, and I tell myself, no, I'm not gonna get it today. I need to stop myself and ask, okay, are you saying you don't want to get it today because you actually could live without it and you don't really want the guac anyway? Or two, are you saying I'm not gonna get it today because you're afraid that it's going to make the sub from $14 to $15 or $14 to $17? Now, one of them, you can definitely say no and not get a guac, because if you don't want it, then you don't have to be spending the money on it. Like, it's not going to add value to it. But if that extra guac is going to make you feel abundant, if that extra guac is going to make you feel like a rich girl, like radiate that rich girl energy, then you should spend on it. Because that few dollars is not going to make or break your bank. If you were honest about it, there would be a few dollars here and there that you're spending without feeling grateful, without feeling rich and abundant on. Those are the areas that you can cut out on. And the areas that makes you feel abundant and that makes you feel happy, those are where you should spend that money. And now, what if you want something that is not a few dollars? What if it's a few $1,000s that's going to make you feel rich and abundant? What do you do then? Instead of saying, I can't afford this, you can ask yourself, okay, how can I afford this? If I wanted to buy a $3,000 Chanel bag, how can I afford this? Can I afford this when I get my bonuses? Can I afford this by putting aside money for the bag, just a bag fund ever so often? And whenever I hit that amount, I can buy the bag. Stop saying no to yourself, but instead start asking yourself how you can get what you want. And that is going to help you reframe and live in the mindset of abundance and live in that rich girl energy. Now, the next point that I have is not everything has to have an ROI. So an ROI is return on investment. That is when we feel like, okay, I'm going to purchase this thing because it's going to bring me this and this in the future. For example, I purchased my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and I tell myself, oh, it's because I'm going to start vlogging, which is going to help me make more content. A lot of the time when we do purchase things, if we're coming from a place of scarcity and a place of lack, you are going to justify that purchase over and over again. And if you catch yourself justifying a purchase and not just because it makes you happy, then you're coming from the wrong energy. That's very important. You do not need to justify to anybody, not even yourself, why you're making that purchase. If you spend $800 on a camera and your friend goes, why? It doesn't matter. If that camera is going to make you happy, if that camera is going to make you feel like a successful content creator, if that new bag is going to make you feel like you're successful and you have everything in order, that feeling is more important than justifying that purchase. It doesn't matter if it has great resale value. We need to stop justifying purchases. We need to start learning to feel comfortable in saying, I bought it because it makes me happy. I bought it because I want to and because I can. And that is the kind of energy that a rich girl would have. And that's the kind of energy that you need to radiate. And I know that it can be really difficult. Sometimes when we're so far from the energy, even listening to things like that could be very triggering because it just doesn't feel like us, right? And when something doesn't feel like who we are, our mind starts to shut down and disengage and disagree from the other person's point of view because it's not how we think. But if you were to imagine, let's say Blair Waldorf, if she were to buy something, do you think she's going to justify her purchase, or do you think she's going to have the energy of, I bought it because it makes me happy? We really need to shift our mindset and focus on the energy of, I bought it because it makes me happy and I don't need any justification. I don't need any ROI. So then how do you do it? How do you actually spend more without overspending? Before we start like swiping our cards and spending recklessly, let's talk a little bit about intentional spending. And the whole point of this video is not to blow your budget out of the water, but it is to make the money work for you. So right now I drive a Tesla and I really love it. And And when I'm driving down the road, I started seeing Porsche SUVs, and they're so beautiful. I am not really attracted to a lot of cars. I think a lot of the cars look like lunchboxes and it's just not pretty to me, but a Porsche SUV I really like. And I also know that I like electric cars because having a Tesla, I never have to go to the gas station. I just love the convenience of having the ability to charge my car at home every day. I told myself that by 2027, my next car is going to be a Porsche Macan, and it's the electric one. So that car, I've already customized the kind of build I want, the interior, the add-ons, so that I know a ballpark number of how much that car is going to be. And it's going to be about like $110,000, $120,000, I believe. And so instead of looking at that number and going, ooh, I can't afford this, I asked myself, okay, how can I fit this into my life? Can I buy it today? Maybe I can take up like a whole bunch of loans and pretty much buy it. But is that going to cause a strain on my budget? Absolutely. And that is not the kind of feeling that I'm going to want to bring into my life. So what I did was I feel really comfortable with how much I'm paying for my Tesla, right? And so I took that percentage of what I'm paying for my car versus the percentage of income that I'm actually making. And I saw what my comfortable amount is for me to pay on a car. And then I used that same percentage and I asked my best friend, ChatGPT, and I told him, hey, if I wanted to afford this car at this percentage every single month, how much do I need to be making? And that way I saw a goal that for me to afford a Porsche in 3 years, I have to be making X amount of dollars. And that was very motivating for me because now I know what to work towards, right? I'm not just throwing random numbers on the wall and going, that's going to be my goal for this year. Now I have a strict number of, I'm going to make this amount in 3 years so that I can buy my Porsche. So really the key to not overspending is setting a clear financial goal to how you can actually afford thing that is going to make you happy and how you can comfortably afford it, and then work backwards to see how much extra income you need to be making to generate it, to make it happen, and then setting a promise to yourself. The reward is definitely the thing that you want to purchase, but setting a promise to yourself that you can do it, believing in yourself, and really working towards achieving it. That way, nothing I desire is out of reach. I just need to create a strategy to get there. The next important money mindset is really having a purpose for every single dollar. So money likes to have a purpose. Money likes to know where to go. If you don't have a purpose for that money is going to disappear. And this is how you create things like money leaks. I truly believe that abundant people don't just save money, they give money a purpose. Like if you're putting money aside every single month into savings, then ask yourself, what is that saving for? Like it's so easy to say, oh, I'm gonna put $500 into savings. Okay, but what for? What is that saving going to do for you? And understanding that is so important. So for me right now, I'm really focused on building an emergency fund for my family. And the reason why is because I love the feeling of having that cushion. I love the safety that it brings me knowing that I have emergency funds for 6 to 8 months. And if anything were to happen to any of us, we will be fine. Like having that safety net, that security, that feeling of peace is so important to me. And so when I put money aside to go into that emergency fund, I'm doing it from a place of gratitude. I'm doing it from a place of happiness because I am not just saving money. No, I am actually investing and I am allocating that money into my safety, right? If you allocate money into your grocery budgets, you're allocating that money into feeling nourished, feeling happy, feeling rejuvenated. If you're allocating that money into your child's school fees, then you're allocating your money into people that you love, into their future so that they learn and they grow and they're safe. Like all these great positive feelings can come about if you just pay attention to whatever you are paying for and allocating towards and focusing on the energy of it. So if you start treating every dollar you allocate with purpose and gratitude, then you will start feeling abundant in every way that you manage your money, right? You'll feel that abundance no matter where the money is going. And I think I've talked about this point a lot, but it's really important because us as humans, we naturally feel like we're losing something, or at least for me, growing up, I feel like whenever I had to pay bills or pay for a fee, I feel like, oof, like I had that money and now it's gone. So instead of focusing on the fact that the money has left my bank account, I think it's so important for us to learn to focus on the fact that the money is allowing us, is paying for us to feel these great feelings. It raises your vibration. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the more you spend with gratitude, the more money comes back to you. And I learned this lesson the hard way because 2024, I fell out of alignment with abundance. And this is so important because at that point in time, the people that I was surrounded by, they were going through some things. They had really limited money mindset. And so what happened was we started reinforcing the lack mentality and the negative money mindset to each other, thinking that we're on the right track. We justified each other's thinking and went, yeah, that's a smart way to save money, or yeah, that's a smart way to not spend, not realizing that it was throwing me so far out of alignment. And the only way I realized it was when I looked back on my 2024 and I realized that I haven't gotten a pay raise in a long time. And for a person who is abundant, money should always be coming in and increasing. And if the money is not increasing, it means I am out of alignment. And it took me half a year to figure out and realize that. And it was only then that I managed to switch my mindset. I got back into feeling in abundance, switching my energetic reality, and then money started flowing in again. A few shifts that I did was, firstly, I don't know why, but I got to the point where I didn't want to tip as much because I feel like it's not justified. No matter how you feel about the tipping culture and whatever, there's always different ways to justify your actions. Whether you want to tip a whole lot or you don't want to tip at all, there's always some kind of justification for that. And I became that person where I would tip the lowest percentage when I went to any places, and I realized that that wasn't coming from a place of abundance at all. So now I actually tip the highest possible option. I tip as much as I could, and I feel great about it. I feel happy. I focus on the fact that the tip that I'm going to is going to the waiter, the person who helped me, the person who did their service, and whether they deserve it or not, right? I am not someone who should be judging if somebody deserves their tip. I just focus on the feeling of my tip is going to make them happy. And that's all the justification they need. My tip is going to help them, it's going to make them happy, and that makes me happy, and so I tip more. And that is how I come from a place of gratitude. Another thing is whenever I need to spend money or whenever I want to buy something, I tell myself that this money is going to come back to me threefold. I'm spending from abundance, and as long as I feel abundant, the money comes back to me threefold. And I tell this to myself every single time I spend money, be it to buy food, to buy clothes, to go shopping. I tell myself my money is always flowing back to me threefolds and I feel abundant. And then I click purchase. And that has really helped me stay on top of my finances for some reason. It's so hard to explain because the changes doesn't come externally. It's not that having more money makes you feel more abundant. It's feeling abundant brings you more money. And that is something that we need to remember. I guess the moral of this video is that it doesn't matter what you spend your money on, as long as you're feeling abundant, as long as you feel positive and there's good energy coming from how you spend and what you spend on. That is the key to emanating this rich girl energy. The more I trust that money flows easily into my life and the more I embody that energy, the more reality shifts for me and shows me and proves to me that money does indeed flow very easily into my life. And if you want me to make a video with exact steps on how to increase your money quickly into your life, then leave a comment down below and I'll definitely make that video for you guys. I'll do a deep dive into the best strategies to help you increase your income in a short amount of time. So if you take away one thing from this video, let it be this. Your money mindset matters. The way you think, speak, and feel about money is really going to shape your financial reality. And if you resonated with some of the things that I shared in this video, give me a like and leave a comment. Let me know which mindset shift you would like to work on down below, or if there are any mindset shifts that really helped you restructure and reframe your financial reality, share with all of us so that we can all grow and glow together. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more content on self-development, money, and abundance, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!